Movie theaters are places where we all want to relax and have fun, but they are much more than what we just see around ourselves. There are people and procedures, special effects that appear not only on the screen. Here are some interesting facts that you might not know about. They are introduced in many different ways, making us do things or see things we have never been aware of. So here we present Top 10 Secrets Movie Theaters Don't Want Us to Know About. Number 1. Yet popcorn is not the only snack available at the movie theater, and they truly want us to buy as much of them as possible. This is why they attack us with it at each step of our way from the door to our seat. Beautiful, colorful packages are attractive for kids and present their favorite characters from the movies. Of course, each time there is a different one to choose, and our son or daughter just needs this very cup for his or her collection. Before the movie starts, there are hints or simply ads that show us how tasty and pleasant it is to be watching a film with something crunchy in our hands. That all happens without us even noticing the process of being tempted on and on. And if that is not enough, they go much further by transporting the smell of the aforementioned popcorn to the auditorium through special air ducts. Then, they just wait for the viewers to start feeling hungry, even if at the beginning they actually weren't. Hey, if you want to find out more about some secret of the places you visit, subscribe to our channel and like it, just to make sure you will not miss any of our other videos and ideas. Number 2. When you already have your snacks, the next step is taking the seat in the auditorium. Just make sure you do not take any seat. Choose the best one, which is usually situated about 2/3 of the way from the screen. This is exactly the spot which cinema technicians use when they want to set all elements of sound and lighting in the room. So, even though all seats look the same and should provide exactly the same experience, there can be some differences if you look closely. And remember, if you do not like all the stimulants to be too strong, you need to take the seat closest to the walls. That is simple, isn't it? Oh, and always put your cup in the cup holder that is yours, and while doing this think of all the people who used to go to cinemas without such small but useful facilities. Number 7. Being a member of a crew that works at a theater has its pluses and minuses. One of the best bonuses is the possibility to watch any film they like. Of course, only if they have no other duties at that time. Not only do they have such possibility, they are even encouraged to do so. The reason behind it is very simple. It is a win-win situation for them as well as for their employers. Watching each film is like preparing for their job. As they are perfectly oriented on the theater's offer, it can recommend a specific film to a specific person. What is more, from time to time, they are allowed to give some tickets away to their friends. Once again, some promotion combined with pleasure. However, their bonuses do not finish here. At least they didn't until some time ago, when new technologies put a stop to it. The workers were able to use theater screens for their own entertainment after they closed for the regular viewers. They used to bring their own gaming consoles to work and have a round or two of their favorite game on the big screen with a surround sound. How cool is that? Unfortunately, as we mentioned before, new equipment is not compatible with those PlayStations or Xboxes anymore. Number 3. We have already mentioned how difficult it is for the theater to actually make money on the films shown by them. This is why ads before each show play such a big role in its income. Such commercial can cost around £1,345 per month on each screen. That explains a lot for the viewers, who sometimes have to wait about half an hour before their film starts. Of course, that must be annoying, but on the other hand, this is business and everybody should try to understand that. By the way, there is a possibility to avoid such a long show and simply count at the film itself. It is enough to check the time when the film finishes and the length of our film. That subtraction should give us the information on what time our movie actually starts. Number 4. One of the main things related to movie theaters is popcorn. Let's be honest. Many of us cannot imagine watching a good film in front of the big screen without a big bucket filled with it. However, this is actually popcorn that brings a great part of the theater's income. After all, film studios take away most of the money for the films, which start making any profit after a month or even two. So in order to be able to operate and ensure a high quality of services, the owners of theaters had to come up with a different idea. This is why popcorn is the product most desired by many. With this incredible smell lurking at the cash desk, this is also not a coincidence. The popcorn smell is actually artificially produced to make us want more and more. In addition to that, it is not always as fresh as they tell us. instead of keeping it for a day or two and regularly exchange the stock, workers of the theaters prolonged popcorn's life even up to 1 week. Have you ever had a feeling that it was not as crunchy as it should be? Well, probably it was simply the old one from a week before, but with a beautiful smell added to it. And the price? Well, let's say that its cost is comparable with the price of a piece of the finest meat per kilo. Not bad, isn't it? Number 5. And last but not least, previews before the films. Everybody knows that they are going to be included in the show before the movie, and very often we like to be updated like that. Especially that they usually match the film we have chosen, so they are proper for our interests or age. Or are they? In 2016, in one of the cinemas in California, parents and their children were taking their seats and happily staring at the newest proposals of the theater, when suddenly they were exposed to a preview of Sausage Party, a highly inappropriate animation with full of sexual connotation and swearing. What is more, 3 years earlier in Florida, a similar group of people was shown a preview of Nymphomaniac, a thriller which title says it all. Number 6. After the show finishes, the auditorium needs to be cleaned. Although they require vacuuming and proper dusting, it cannot be done between films. That leads to a situation when what we expect to be clean and ready for our arrival is actually just slightly polished and left without further attention. Short breaks demand quick work, and all the dirt accumulated during the day needs to be cleaned late in the evening. As cinema goers, we can all imagine what is left behind when the viewers finish watching. Popcorn on the floor, wrappings everywhere, and some stains from fizzy drinks are quite common. However, there is more. Some people who come to the cinema with their babies do not bother to change them in special restrooms. They simply do it while watching a film and later leave the full and smelly diaper under their seat. No wonder the cleaning duty can exhaust the workers, and that part of the day is not their favorite. Number 8. There is one more trick connected with theater snacks. Have you ever bought too much food at the cinema just because the bigger set was cheaper and you could get more for less? Who hasn't? It is one of the oldest and best working advertising product that make us do things we don't really want to. But it is enough to go through some numbers in your head to realize that instead of gaining something, we actually lose our money and very often our shape. The savings are not higher than 12 pence, whereas we could never buy that much, and at the same time, you spend that much money if we were buying the things from those combo sets separately. So next time you visit the movie theater, buy whatever you would like to eat, not what they want you to have for a little bit less than normal. That should save your wallet and your stomach. Number 9. Now let's take a look at some technical elements. Of course, by that we mean the sound and the picture. All cinemas around the world are telling us that they are following the latest technical solutions and can provide the best quality. However, it is not always true. First, the sound. Although it should be at the level of 85 decibels, which should be enough for us to enjoy the film without hurting ourselves, they are very often set at 120 decibels and more to bring some stronger emotions and damage our hearing. Louder doesn't mean better. Remember that. What is more, attractive names like Extreme Digital or IMAX don't always mean the same advanced technique. The first one is simply the basic, most commonly used and cheaper version of the other, whereas IMAX itself requires quite a big screen, exactly 72 feet by 52 feet. A lot of theaters are not able to provide such space and at the same time boast about their IMAX equipment. Not everything we see and hear at the theaters is real, and we are not talking here only about the film fiction. Keep your eyes and minds open or do some research before you actually buy a ticket. Number 10. Talking of new technologies, who doesn't like a good 3D movie from time to time? They take the viewers to a new place, give them goosebumps, and are especially enjoyable for children. However, we should be careful when it comes to them. Many situations have shown that watching 3D films may lead to sickness and dizziness. It is all connected with the transfer of information that flows from our eyes or ears to our brain. Some of them claim that we are on the go, others show that actually we are not. All of that triggers our body's reaction, and that can lead to such situations like feeling nauseous or even fainting. That is highly probable when watching horror films or thrillers, which bring on strong emotions. When the film Raw was shown in 3D, one of the cinema goers collapsed and had to be taken to the hospital due to a head injury. it is good to take it under consideration, and at some point, maybe avoid going to a toilet during a 3D film. Have you enjoyed our trip behind the Velvet Curtain? Please subscribe to our channel and like it. We are constantly working on some more intriguing and interesting videos.